Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is HATE Week 4 was not nearly as exciting as say weeks 2 and 3. Some interesting things went down, or I assume some interesting things went down, but I feel not nearly as important enough to mention in this video. And we have a lot to talk about in this video, so I feel like I should just skip the intro and just jump straight into the Bucs and Saints. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's do that. Let's talk Bucs and Saints. Alright, so in the first quarter, the Saints get the ball to start, and Group B kicks a 37-yarder to make it a 3-0 game with 9:23 left to go. Nothing else to report other than that. Second quarter, the Saints are forced to punt after another failed drive. Baker throws a 36-yard pass to Evans at 11:13 to keep the chains moving. Baker throws a pass to White to put the Bucs at first and goal. And at the 2-yard line, Baker finds Otten open for the 1-yard score. Bucs lead Saints 7-3 with 5:15 to go. Carr is sacked on another Saints failed drive on 3rd and 4 with 2:55 left to go. Bucs get downfield. Baker is intercepted with 42 seconds left in the quarter by Edom. Who is this guy? A controversial call by the refs puts the ball at the 1 instead of at the 20. Prentice takes it out of the end zone and fumbles with 29 seconds left. The Bucs would recover. Baker throws a touchdown pass to Trey Palmer to make it a 14-3 game to end the half. Bucs get the ball to start the second half, and Baker is sacked on 3rd down, forcing the Bucs to punt. Carr goes long for Olave, and it's knocked out of his hands. The Saints would punt. Kamara gets the ground game going for the Saints. Group B knocks a 32-yarder at 58 seconds to make it a 6-14 game. Baker throws a 32-yard pass to Godwin to end the quarter. Bucs lead Saints 14-6. Fourth quarter, Baker gets out of pressure to keep a Bucs drive alive. McLaughlin drills a 51-yarder to make it a 17-6 game at 13:31. Carr finds an open Michael Thomas to keep a drive alive. Group B kicks a 44-yard field goal to make it a 17-9 game with 8:34 left to go. Baker finds an open Godwin, who takes it 42 yards with a catch and run to put the Bucs at first and goal. The Saints give Baker plenty of time to find an open Tompkins for the touchdown with 3:45 left to go. Bucs go for 2 and the ball would be tipped. A sack fumble by Carr is recovered by the Bucs. McLaughlin kicks a 28-yard field goal to make it a 26-9 game with 2:24 left to go. Winston goes in for Carr and is intercepted by Delaney with 2:14 left to go. The Bucs would beat the Saints 26-9. Well, folks, where do I begin with this one? Well, let me start off by asking a very serious and yet somewhat passive-aggressive question. Are the Saints for real? I'm being serious. Are the Saints actually serious? Because none of that game felt serious to me. From Carr being in the game to the way we ended this game, just felt like a complete hot mess to me. Speaking of which, imagine my surprise waking up 15 minutes late to discover Carr on my computer screen. I thought I was still sleeping. I thought it was a dream. And I'm not even joking with you. I mean, I feel like that would probably explain that unspecified timetable for his return. We all know that, and don't take this bad, but we do know that Carr is DA's errand boy, and DA will do whatever it takes to ensure Carr starts over anybody else, even if Carr looks sloppy and inconsistent, which he actually did. There were passes and completions that he was making 2 weeks ago that he wasn't making in this game because he looked unfit and unhealthy to play in this game. I mean, what happened to Winston starting? I had this whole speech prepared last week. I went on a whole rant or rampage about Winston starting. I was humble about it. DA is over here making me look like a complete idiot, making this entire grand gesture or idea or selling the idea on Winston. Not that I disagree with what I said, but you know, all this talk about Winston and oh, look it, there's Derek Carr. Imagine my surprise. I mean, the entire game I was thinking, okay, when is DA going to pull the plug on this Derek Carr shenanigan and put Winston in? Of course, when he did, Winston's first pass in garbage time was an interception. Well, I guess then that answers the burning question. I mean, I screamed when I saw Jameis Winston throw that interception. I screamed in disbelief. I'm not a big screamer, but that completely shocked me. Not that I'm blaming Winston for this loss. I want to make that clear. I'm not blaming Winston for this loss. The game was over and done with. But that tells me all I need to know. Winston has a track record of inconsistent passes and has had a 50-50 completion to interception ratio. So I don't know if I want to believe in this idea that I'm hearing or something that's circling around that Winston was just thrown into a bad situation and it's not his fault. No, of course. The loss is not on Winston. However, the interception was completely on Winston. I tweeted this, and I wish it would have gotten more views because I believe in this. I said, Carr is injured, Winston is inconsistent, and Haener is into PEDs. I would much rather have Noodle Arm Breeze back than any of these guys. And it's true. Since Breeze retired, our quarterback situation has been bad. It's been beyond bad. We have yet to find that one guy who's going to be consistent enough and stay healthy long enough to lead us through an entire season and possibly take us to the playoffs. Heck, I was even thinking giving Dalton a call, going back to the X. I can give him a call if you'd like. I am very good at getting the X's attention. You just need some big, grand gesture that's going to make them pay attention to what you have to say, and you need to sell them to reel them back in for the greater good. Now look, most of this loss is absolutely on Carr because he looked terrible, and the O-line actually cleaned it up slightly, albeit, compared to the first 3 weeks of the season. We know he's injured, but is that a justifiable excuse? 127 yards, 0 touchdowns, 23 completions of 37, his worst performance so far. Then again, who said he should even be playing in this game? We look at this roster and we see all the great potential that we have, but maybe the main reason we're 2-2 isn't the guys who are actually playing. Now, I myself am a believer in the underdog. I have believed in Dennis Allen since the very beginning, since he took over for Sean Payton. And I've given him the benefit of the doubt, but I just don't think I can do that anymore. There is a place for DA on this team, believe it or not. But it's not as head coach. DA needs to go back to doing what he does best, maybe being demoted, if you consider being a defensive coordinator being demoted, but he needs to go back to doing what he does best, which is being a defensive coordinator. Pete Carmichael, he needs to go. And along with Doug Moreau, he needs to take him too. And, we need Sean Payton back. Now, I know he is coaching for the Broncos. Believe me, I live in a region in the United States where I'm forced to watch Broncos games. And no, I do not live in Colorado, which is weird because we don't get Nuggets games here. But we get Broncos games. Either way, not to get too personal. But I'm just saying, we should maybe call up Sean Payton or get someone else who's on the chopping block. But getting back to the coaching, the play calling was just weird in this game. Mixing up and switching up the formations, having Hill in, then Carr, then going back to Hill again, then not going for it and resorting to only field goals. The Saints need touchdowns. In order to win, Saints need touchdowns. They can't settle for these mediocre field goals. There's no urgency on offense, and I think we can all agree on that. We couldn't establish anything really. Yes, we did get the ground game going for Kamara, who had 51 yards rushing. Now those are not great numbers, but considering what we've had prior, someone who I do feel sorry for having to walk into a situation like this, then again, it is completely his fault why he wasn't out there for the first 3 games. So you reap what you sow, sorry. That's another reason why this game didn't feel serious. Against a division rival? That's why I'm asking, am I supposed to take the Saints seriously? Not to mention the big turnover that they got, and then getting the ball back and turning it over and giving it right back to the Bucs for them to score. Now, granted, the ball probably should have been at, the 20-25 yard line, so we got screwed on that, yada, 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 right? But this is why fullback is a dying position. Yeah. I don't want to say it's over yet for the Saints because the season is still very, very long. But if the Saints don't get it together and fix their offense, then this is shaping up to be another, 7-win season? Yeah. As for the defense, same story, same situation. Now, Baker looked good. Baker looked really, really good. 3 touchdowns to 3 different receivers, 246 yards. As a Baker fan, I can't hate on his game. The Bucs looked completely composed and confident with the way that they were playing. They may run away with this division relatively early if we don't do something about it. I can't talk trash on a team that clearly knows how to do their job. The defense allowed the Bucs to march all over them. So much for this Lattimore-Evans epic battle. Now granted, you can't really wish for a battle when one guy is clearly wounded. So there's that. But this didn't even feel like a rivalry. This felt like we were playing some unusual AFC team that we face every, 4 to 6 seasons? Granted, Evans was ruled out, but still, I look at teams playing football, right? Because I watch a lot of football. I'm not just a Saints fan. I'm a huge fan of the NFL in general. And I watch anybody who's playing on TV. And I see these other teams having fun, scoring touchdowns, and having these celebration dances like the days of yore. This isn't the Saints team that we've known and loved for seasons prior. This is a sad, depressing mess. I know, it's 4 games into the season, but are you impressed with what the Saints are doing currently? As for the Bucs, congratulations on a well-deserved win. No one is going to debate you played better than us, and nobody's going to debate that you're probably... No, I take it back. You are the best team in the NFC South. But that is always subject to change. So keep that in mind. I will see you New Year's Eve. Now, the Patriots. A game that I have dreaded for the last 2 months. And a team I do full-heartedly hate with a passion. Now, you may be thinking, why would you hate the Patriots? They're not even in our conference. I'm aware. Is it because of Tom Brady? Mostly? Yes, but my hate has grown for them over the last several years for various reasons. I thought that my hate would go away, or my hate would turn into a dislike once they drafted Mac Jones. But after watching that cream puff, my hate is still there. And listen, I do believe in this idea that every sports fan needs a team or a player to hate on. That's what makes sports rivalries so great. Now, the Patriots are that team that I loathe. And I loathe them with a passion. And I don't even care. Haters are gonna hate. So be it. I'm a Patriots hater. Now, I did watch that Cowboys game with a smirk on my face every step of the way. This is going to be bold. If the Saints don't win this game, I highly, highly suggest they concede entirely. Just give up on the season. I'm not a trash talker, but this week, I absolutely am. And I have no shame in that. I honestly don't even feel I need to break this game down because as dysfunctional as the Saints are right now, and they are, I think that there are worse teams out there, and the Patriots are one of them. So by logic, the better team should win, and they must win this game. That said, I don't think it would be right if I finish this video without giving some sort of initial breakdown of this game. With that said, I saw nothing to really take away from the Patriots in their last game or any of their games this season. Mac Jones looks like your typical cream puff getting clobbered out there. Speaking of which, doesn't Mac Jones kind of look like the Mad Magazine kid or the Mad Magazine mascot? I never read the magazine, but I was a sucker for Mad TV, the sketch comedy show. I love sketch comedies, but Mad TV for me beats current SNL, hands down. Either way, I can't sit here and say that our defense is going to have a hard time against him if he plays. Granted, there was controversy stating that he was going to be benched. I doubt that that's going to be the case. But I think we can get some interceptions off him and some sacks easily done. This defense hasn't allowed a running back to get over 65 yards this season, so our run D should be able to stop Zeke and Ramondre if he plays. Which, I actually like Ramondre Stevenson. I hated when he got drafted to the Patriots. And I'm pretty sure by now you can figure out which college team I root for. yeah, either way, if our corners can stop getting burned on deep passes and getting penalties that prolong drives that for the opposing team, then we should be fine. Containing Juju Smith-Schuster, who had a whopping 14 yards last week, Devontae Parker and Hunter Henry should be a piece of cake. I think that this will prove to be easy for the defense. If I have any concerns whatsoever about this game, it definitely has to be on offense. If the Saints can magically get that fixed up, then we can easily score over 20 points on these guys, which will be enough to win. That's the biggest issue I see facing the Saints. But if Carr can stay composed and stay consistent and get the protection he so sorely and badly needs, this should absolutely be a W in the win column. If we establish the running game early on with Kamara, we can take the lead and keep running with it, figuratively speaking. I do believe that this is a game where if the Saints don't beat themselves, this can be a fantastic, tremendous game for them. So the objective should be, first and foremost, to absolutely get the ground game going first. We need to get into the red zone. No more settling for field goals. We need touchdowns. Sustain those drives, don't throw picks, don't get dumb penalties, and stay composed, which I am aware I just said that. But I'm trying to sort of embed it in their heads. The Patriots don't scare me, and they sure as heck should not scare the Saints. Now, I do know that they are 1-point favorites, which is just home field advantage. I'm not even being biased. And I know I'm talking a big game here, but it's not like I know any Patriots fans in my real life. Well, actually, I take that back. I do know of a Patriots fan. Well, I thought I knew a Patriots fan. We actually met here on YouTube over 11 years ago. I don't know if this person still has a YouTube channel on here. They may or may not still be on YouTube. Since then, we've spoken on and off in that 11-year span, which I know is a very long time to talk to somebody. We actually spoke not too long ago, and I was excited about this game. Yeah, I know, I just went an entire rampage on how much I hate the Patriots and just mentioned how excited I was about this game. Either way, and I do still like the Patriots, by the way. Unfortunately, this person and I had a misunderstanding, and we currently aren't on speaking terms. Not that it's something that I entirely agree with, but I feel like that's justified. And it's a shame too, because I think we could have enjoyed the game, or I think we could have enjoyed watching the game together or finding a way to watch this game together. It's not often that our teams face each other, so yet again, another missed opportunity. It's a shame how things go sometimes. I mean, I do still care deeply for this person, and whether or not we'll still be in each other's lives, you know, that's yet to be seen. But I guess on the other hand, if we do lose to the Patriots, unlikely, I wouldn't have to crow to this person. So I'd still have to crow to the Pats fan base, but I wouldn't have to crow to this person directly. So I guess there's that. Either way, not to get too personal or sentimental, I try to avoid that as much as I can on this channel. I'm just stating facts. But I think that is all I have to say. Once again, my name is HATE_Queen94. I'm also on Twitter under the name Jimmy Graham Superstar. So yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If not, it's totally cool, I understand. If you'd like to subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. Just hit that button down below. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and go Saints. Who dat, baby? Okay, bye-bye.